Interface Video presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, and Ohio University Lancaster.
Welcome to Town and Country Time here on Interface Video and Lancaster Schools Network. Oh, sorry. I guess that's kind of a little bit of an homage to Stan Robinson, who hosted this show for us for many years, and then kind of turned it over. It was kind of a strange situation where I became the host, but I'll say that Stan sparked my career. So we will certainly miss Mr. Robinson, who hosted Town and Country for so many years and continue to host and give our agency a voice on the radio. But this is Fairfield Today. My name is John Bosser. I am the host of this program, which today we're coming from Art and Clay on Main and Square 7 Coffee House in downtown Lancaster, which is one of our facilities. And we invite you to come out sometime here during the beautiful season, although you may want to stay home today. It's a little, as we're taping, it's a little bit nippy and a little bit treacherous out there. So school started late and everything. So today we're going to talk about our awards program, the Celebration of Possibilities, which is coming up at the end of March. The first of probably 3 programs that'll focus on that particular program that we offer. My guest today is Janie Heston, who is one of our award winners. She's one of our individual support coordinators. Janie, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
About halfway through, we'll bring in Trish Jones and Jackie Marion, who are the winners of our Goldie Field Spirit Award. But the Celebration of Possibilities is on March 26th at Crossroads Center on Fair Avenue in Lancaster. Our special guest will be Kathy Buckley, who is a comedian, author, actress, just a tremendous person. Have you seen any videos of Kathy?
Yes, I have.
She's really a lot of fun.
Yeah, she is.
She has a great message. She's been through quite a lot in her life. She's hearing impaired, and she's had some other issues, but she continues to be a very successful actress and comedian, and has written a book called, I didn't write it down, You Should See What I Hear, I believe it's called. It should be a very interesting night. But we also have a number of other award winners. The Deanna Kerwin Award for Individual Achievement is Ryan Barber. The Distinguished Service Award, which goes to a member of our staff that's not Janie, is James Armstrong. The Commitment Award is going to John Hammond from Charlie Steakery, who gave me a free lunch last night, so that was good. Took his picture. Our Vision Award winner is Elder Bierman. No, they haven't given me anything free yet, so maybe they'll give me a discount on my clothing. The Heart Tongue Award winner is Anita Burke, who founded the Mommies of Miracles support group with 4 people in a church, and is now on Facebook, has more than 50,000 followers. So that's just amazing. And again, when we come back, we'll have Goldie Field's Spirit Award winners, Trish Jones and Jackie Marion, who you'll meet them, but they're master gardeners and are working with our Green Machine program. And then, of course, our Legacy Award winner is our Secret Award winner. So we're not letting her know that she's won the award. Our first winner was the Honorable and His Excellency Mayor Smith, and then Leah Holden, and last year Dr. Ed Payne. And we decided we needed something to kind of build some momentum, and we decided to have one that we would have secret, and that's our last award winner. So Janie, let's now with all that madness out of the way, tell me a little bit about your most recent efforts to get a van for a family.
I was contacted by another member of our agency that was contacted by a nurse at one of the schools that a family had a need. They have 2 children that have muscular dystrophy. Both children that have muscular dystrophy are in wheelchairs. This family could not do anything as a family because they couldn't put 3 children, 2 wheelchairs, 2 adults in a car. And they really needed a van.
Who can?
Right.
Very difficult.
Right. So I got this call. Rachel at work came to me and said, I got this call. Can you help these people? I think these children may be on your caseload, blah, blah, blah. So I called her, talked to the nurse. Next thing I know, I'm looking for a van, but of course, to find a van that I went to our superintendent, and we as an agency cannot purchase anything like
Right.
that because it's titled. And the family didn't have, they don't have the resources for a van. I was at lunch at Forest Rose School where my husband works, and one day and mentioned that I was looking for a van. I went on vacation. This happened before Christmas. Come back from vacation. I get a call from a lady that works at Forest Rose, says, I found a van. It's sitting along 188, but that's all I know. And I said, well, how do I find out anything else about it? She goes, I'll send my husband out. So this lady sends her husband out, gets me the information, brings the information back to me. I go look at the van, find out that it's exactly what this family needs. Then I start making calls around the community to see if we can get donations. That was on a Monday afternoon. By Thursday afternoon, I had enough donations to not only purchase the van, purchase insurance for a year, purchase the taxes, title, fees, and we're also going to be able to give them through other donations that the children at Medill School did. We're going to be able to give the family some gift cards, some gas cards. So when we hand this van to this family, it's going to be a nice little neat bow.
You even got a couple of oil changes coming from.
We got oil changes coming from a couple local businesses. We have.
Give me a rundown. Well, maybe it's unfair to ask you this.
No.
Who all gave you donations? Do you have them off the top of your head?
I got a donation from a private citizen. We got a donation from Fairfield Federal, First United Methodist Church, Charity Newsies, Society, Fairfield County Society for Adults and Children with Disabilities, Fairfield County Cluster, Fairfield, or the Lancaster Fire Department, of course, the Medill PTO.
And the Medill students.
And the Medill students. So, yeah, I think that's about it.
Okay, well, that's
If
awesome.
I missed anybody, I apologize.
Okay. Now, tell me a little bit about previously in your career here at Fairfield DD. This isn't the first time you've done something like this. You obtained a van for another family
Right,
a few years ago through Progressive Insurance. And
correct.
Tell me about that project.
Well, that project came as just me being, my husband fusses at me because I'm never off work. And we were out to dinner one night with friends. And he happens to be a commander at a VFW post in Westerville. And he was talking about they were looking for a wounded veteran to give a van to, for a family that needed it. And I said, oh, well, I have a wounded veteran. One of my children on my caseload's dad was wounded in Afghanistan. And he says, oh, really? And 2 phone calls and a couple letters later, Progressive donated this van to that family. So he was, the dad was still, matter of fact, getting treatment in Fort Knox. So they had a van that they could drive back and forth to Fort Knox to take care of dad. He's since been discharged.
Oh, okay, good. Very well. And then, of course, people don't realize this, but you, last year, you raised quite a bit of money to help a child get a dog.
Service dog.
Tell us about the service dog.
A little boy on my caseload has seizures, and his family needed a service dog. These service dogs cost $15,000. We researched several different places, found a service dog, started help raising money. We did fundraisers. I connected them with several different organizations around the state, really. I actually went to the state. And then one day, about 4 or 5 weeks into the fundraising, we get a call that somebody had made an anonymous donation to help put us over the top. They've had their dog for a year. I even know this dog works because I had a blood pressure issue one day and didn't realize it. The dog alerted on me. So, dog does do her job. But
good.
yeah, so we've done that.
Well, awesome.
And I say we because it's collaborative. I don't do this all on my own.
Most of what we do at Fairfield DD involves a team. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, about how your job day to day as a service coordinator and finding support for people on your caseload, what that's like and why this is kind of over and above. This is above and beyond these other things you've done here.
Well, your job as an individual support coordinator, my job is to coordinate services, to help people find the things that they need. Now, with children, it's a little different because children don't get a lot of the resources that we use for adults.
Correct.
So I have to go and find resources other places. Insurance, a lot of children will cover maybe a helmet a child might need, but it only covers one every 2 years, and I don't know a kid that doesn't grow in 2 years. So I have to go out and find somebody that will help us pay for the helmet in the interim. I also help the family deal with school, with IEPs, things like that, because that's a really daunting
Right.
thing. If you've got a 3-year-old that you're just dealing with their disability, you don't want to have to deal with the school. So I go and I help with the schools and help coordinate. I also go into the schools every day, every week. I don't want to say every day, and see if there's anything that I can help the families in the schools connect. So that's what I do on a daily basis. The other things are sort of crazy things that just sort of come along and somebody says, Janie, see if you can do this.
Which is when Rachel McCoy
called
you.
me and said, can you do this? And I said, I don't know, let's find out.
Oh, well, that's awesome. Well, Janie, thank you so much. Looking forward to developing our video to learn more about you as we get ready for the celebration in March. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Okay. When we come back, we'll have Trish Jones and Jackie Marion, who are Master Gardeners and the winners of our Goldie Field Spirit Award. Welcome back to Fairfield Today. My name is John Bosser. I am the host as we host this show from Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities once a month. My guests today are Jackie Marion now and Trish Jones, who are members of the Green Machine Master Gardeners. I guess you have adopted the Green Machine name now?
You know, we merged our names. We're the Green Machine Gardeners now.
Okay.
So we merged with the Green Machine and the Master Gardeners.
All right. Tell me a little bit about that relationship.
Well, I think it started, 4 years ago?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I was just thinking about that, and at the suggestion of Connie Smith, who is the Master Gardener Coordinator for Fairfield County, we started working at the Opportunity Center, and we started out kind of slow, growing microgreens, which is still a business that we continue today. But we expanded from there. The first year, I think we helped them with a garden that was about 1,500 square feet. And then we went crazy and put in a 5,000 square foot garden. Then we went crazier and put in a 7,500 square foot garden.
So you started out, there was a gardening interest group
Right,
at the Opportunity Center
Right.
for our adults with disabilities.
right.
You guys were a group of master gardeners who at the time were called the Weeders,
We were.
and you were looking for some place to volunteer your time and
Right.
give that,
That's right.
do your community service for becoming master gardeners.
That's right.
So the merger happened, and you were recognized for that with the Inspiration Award
We were.
for helping do that as a group. All the master
Right.
gardeners were recognized as a group. But now the two of you have gone over and above what the other master gardeners have done, and you guys are almost like staff.
We are in many respects.
You are, but you're both retired or.
Yeah.
Trish still works.
I still
Oh, you
work.
still
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
How do you manage to do all this?
Well, a lot of it falls back on Jackie.
Okay.
But I do work 20 hours a week in a library.
Oh,
then,
okay,
Then
okay.
I still have some free time available to be down
Okay.
at the center. It's harder in the summer when I'm working because I'd rather be in the garden.
Oh, okay, okay. Now, one of the things you're doing is that you have taken this microgreens program. And we'll have you explain what microgreens are
Okay.
because everyone doesn't know that. But you've taken microgreens to a new level. First of all, tell us about what microgreens are.
Microgreens are little seedlings that grow about 2 inches tall.
Very quickly.
Yes, 12 days is about our growing cycle right now. When the first set of leaves appear, we harvest them, and they have a great deal of nutrients in them. They're very much in demand by upscale restaurants and foodies because of the nutrient value of the greens.
As well as flavor.
And the
flavor
intense
is much
flavor.
more.
Very
Much more
intense, very
intense.
intense. We grow 6 or 8 different varieties. We sell them locally to Susie Cork at Shaw's. We sold them across the street to Table 1 at Jean Michel for a special dinner down here. We sell them to Rhapsody in Nelsonville to Chef Anthony. And we sell them to a restaurant in Canal Winchester called Village Wines. And we harvest weekly, we plant weekly. We have a wonderful system that just kind of works now. We have probably 12 volunteers that work in the garden and in the microgreen operation. And they just come every week and do their job and work with the adults at the Opportunity Center.
When you say we harvest, you mean
It's a team.
It's
Yeah,
a
it is
team.
absolutely.
It's
you
a
guys,
team,
it's
it's us,
the
it's some
adults
of
with
the adults.
disabilities. It's
Yes.
just a wonderful little.
And they help with weighing, they help with rinsing and getting the greens packaged. The adults have learned to do everything, every step of the process.
Great.
Both the planting and then the harvesting.
And there are certain things you do that you have to follow
Exactly.
to keep that flavor and the intense.
And to follow the regulations.
We have,
okay.
Health
yeah.
rules, that sort of thing.
I don't know
Yes.
if you've been over recently, but we have really upgraded our entire system, and we are very much in compliance now with all the health rules in terms of packaging, harvesting, rinsing. We have a real nice professional operation over there now.
We do.
It's pretty exciting. And we're hoping to expand into the Columbus market. That's on our agenda for this spring.
And that's one of the things you're doing now. You're going out and you're marketing
The green machine.
The
Yes.
green machine,
Yeah,
and then
yeah. And we get very good reception from people when they find out exactly what the cause is. They're excited to help participate in earning money for the people that work at the Opportunity Center, because they do. They share in the profits of everything that we make there.
and everything goes back into.
Oh, it does, yeah.
Into the green machine program. And
It does,
Yes.
and Trish is a whiz at writing grants, so we usually have funds to work off of, which makes it even more profitable for them.
Let's talk a little bit about grants.
Okay?
You used a grant to purchase what out there? I mean, you expanded. You said you started at 1,500 square feet, and is now 7,500. But within that footprint of land, there's more than just a 1,500 square foot garden.
Oh, yeah.
20.
I'll let
Well,
Trish address
so,
that.
So our first grant was with the Fairfield Foundation, and they provided us funding to expand the number of raised beds, which is intended to help facilitate
Right.
broader availability of gardening to some of the other folks who may have physical limitations to
Right.
being able to garden on the ground.
Right.
And so we have now, I think we added 10 raised beds with that grant. And we made application for another grant through the Farm Bureau. They actually made the application and got the grant monies, which allowed us to put in water in the garden. Because in the first 2 years, we ran a hose from the back of the building and fingers of hoses wherever we could. And that was really challenging.
Right.
And not particularly practical. So we now have 3 outlets in the garden itself where we
Oh,
can
awesome.
tie in hoses, and we have real water with real water pressure that we can water our crops with. That was an enormous improvement in our operation in the
Absolutely.
gardens. So, and then Jackie has been very instrumental with her personal contacts with having funds donated to us, and we have used those variously for little additions to the garden. We're looking at putting in sort of a more structured entranceway this year. We've had a arch of flowers, and we're looking at enhancing that with some structure that we can not only grow flowers, but that we can actually grow some vining crops on,
okay.
whether
Awesome.
it's green beans or gourds or something like that. So we try to use the money very, very specifically so people who donate money can say, we gave that to the program.
Now, speaking of structures, you also had quite a large greenhouse
High tunnel,
Donated.
yes.
donated.
Donated. We're still working on that.
That's a challenge for us.
It was beyond just putting stakes in the ground and putting a frame up. And we've had a lot of help from a group at a church up in Lithopolis guys have come down and they've done structural things, including squaring the thing, which was a big deal. And so we've had that. We're hoping to be in production March, April of this year.
Okay.
We have not been able to quite get it enclosed. We had hoped to have done that before the end of the year, but it didn't happen.
Now, we haven't touched on this yet, but throughout the summer months, and as we get closer to fall, you guys, this whole green machine, this 7,500 square foot garden, and you talk about crops,
Right.
you have 3 days a week
We have a market.
a farmer's
Right.
market out
We
there.
do. And we're hoping to expand our hours this year, actually, or tweak them a little bit so we can be open a little bit later one evening.
That'd be great.
So-
Because
and-
I know that's what a lot of people
Yeah.
that I've talked to, as I was trying to market it, and as you've tried to market it,
Yeah.
it's the best kept secret in Fairfield County.
Yes.
But
Well, we're working.
because you're only open for a few
Yeah.
hours in the afternoons.
Right.
Right,
Well,
right.
we are constrained by the hours that the green machine are
Right.
there because we want that to be a learning experience for them. How do you greet the public? How do you say hello? How do you sell product? How do
Right.
you cashier? We have so many exciting things going on.
And it's great the way they've learned that.
Oh,
Oh, it's
Especially
fabulous.
the young man that was doing it last summer,
Yes.
before his involvement with the green machine,
cold, I bet you're
Colt
talking
would
about.
have never have been
Yeah.
able to do any of
Yeah,
that.
Right.
and now when somebody walks in, we talked about, we had a whole session recently on when you meet somebody new, how do you go up and greet them? And in fact, we had somebody come in today and Colt went over and said, "I'm Colt," and shook their hand. So we're always proud of those little
Oh,
achievements, and
that's great.
that's part of why we're there. It's education, it's learning to deal with people in the community. It's learning how to get along with each other as you work on a project together, because that's a challenge sometimes. And it's then learning how you plant seeds, how you harvest,
Right.
and then how you market that product.
Now, we'll be back out there as the weather gets.
Good.
If the
Good.
weather ever gets.
Good.
Of course.
I'm sure it's not going to be like this for the rest of the year.
No, but we do a lot of things in the wintertime. I think I told you earlier, we're packaging seeds today that we harvested last year. And we start the whole planning process of what we're going to grow in the garden. And Trish is really a big part of the succession planting that goes on with that. So
We've actually already even started planting herbs
inside.
inside and have those under grow lights, and we'll
Oh,
be
cool.
planting some seeds in the next couple of weeks to get our transplants for outside started, our tomato plants,
Now,
our
will
peppers.
any of those herbs go on to local restaurants or?
These are actually intended for a sale that's coming up at the end of April, where we will be able to participate in a Master Gardener program to help fundraise, and it will be.
Oh, very cool.
It's a fundraiser for the Master Gardeners, but for us, it will be selling product
Right.
for the green machine that will go back to the guys
Right.
in the
Okay.
program. So that's just another piece of it that we're able to put together.
Well, give me a rundown of just some of the crops that are going to be grown for next summer for the.
Well, we'll probably have 6 varieties of tomatoes that we'll attempt to grow too close together.
We learn
we had-
something every year.
Yeah, we had a fabulous, and in fact, a Fairfield County Fair winning pear tomato that we planted this
Oh,
year.
awesome.
And we're hoping to plant a whole bunch of those next year again.
Okay.
We do.
Contribution from Livingston Seed, because they've been very generous with giving us seed product to use in the past. And so we'll have several varieties of tomatoes. We'll have several varieties of peppers again. We had some very interesting ones this year, including some hot peppers.
Beans.
We will continue to grow beans, yes, and we had purple beans, which were just gorgeous. And so we're going to grow those again. our raspberry bushes, our berry bushes.
I missed that
produced,
last year.
And
By a week.
we expanded our, well, now they're ever, you couldn't have, they're ever fruiting or something like that. They're supposed to keep going, so
okay.
we maybe didn't do something quite right if you missed out. But, and then we expanded our strawberry patch this year also, so early on, we will have strawberries
Oh,
there.
I didn't realize that.
Yes,
Okay.
so we're.
Rhubarb.
And summer squash.
There is some rhubarb,
Or,
yes.
asparagus.
Spaghetti squash,
Squash.
yes, indeed. So we have learned what grows and what to do and not to do.
Okay.
The timing of it, we're getting down a little better, and
Now, this is all, just to kind of geographically place you there.
yes,
We are just behind the Opportunity Center, which is on Coon Path Road,
yes,
across from the Dogwood Crossing.
Yes.
that's right.
And we're back in the back, kind of toward, between our building and the
The
library
library,
building.
right?
So, you can
Yes.
go back there all summer and,
Right.
and make purchases.
Right. I mean, technically, we're in Carroll as a.
And if anybody wants to come out and see, they can always call Deb Will,
Yes.
That's right.
who
We
is
can
the,
arrange
who
it.
is the person
Sure.
that you guys do.
Coordinator.
And we have a compost pile.
Oh,
And this year we will be having some rainwater barrels. We'll be collecting rainwater and we.
quite an operation out there.
Oh, it is,
It is.
absolutely. And we love to show it off, so.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
We love to have people come visit us.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me
Thank
today.
you for having
welcome,
us.
John.
Looking forward
Thank
to the
you.
end of March to
You bet.
having you at our program. And
That'll be fun.
Another wonderful time. Until next month, this is John Bosser for Fairfield Today.
Interface Video presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, and Ohio University Lancaster.